Let's be honest, we've all been seduced by the dream. You're scrolling through Instagram or Pinterest and you see it. A 1970s Honda CB or maybe an old Triumph Bonneville. It's stripped down, it's got clip-on handlebars, the chrome is gleaming in the sunset. It looks like freedom, it looks like cool. And then you think, hey, I can build that. How hard can it be? I'll buy a cheap donor bike, spend a few weekends wrenching, and by summer, I'll be the king of the local coffee run. Stop right there. That is the most expensive thought you will ever have. Because what nobody tells you on social media is that vintage motorcycle restoration is basically a financial disease. It's a toxic relationship. But the reality isn't a sunset ride. The reality is standing in a freezing garage at 3 a.m., bleeding from your knuckles, staring at a stripped bolt that hasn't moved since 1978, realizing you've already spent double the bike's value and the engine hasn't even turned over yet. In this video, we are going beyond the hype. We are going to expose the hidden costs, the mechanical nightmares, and the sheer insanity of restoring a vintage motorcycle. I'm going to show you why that $1,000 barn find is actually a $10,000 money pit waiting to destroy your marriage. Welcome to the dark side of the dream.
Step 1 is the purchase. You open Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or Cycle Trader. You're looking for a bargain, and you find it, a 1975 Yamaha XS650. The seller wants $1,500, and there it is, the 3 most dangerous words in the English language, ran when parked. Let's decode what that actually means. Ran when parked usually means it ran 15 years ago, before the ethanol in the modern gas turned into glue inside the carburetors. It means the piston rings have likely rusted to the cylinder walls. It means the tires are basically made of hockey puck rubber, and the wiring harness has become a luxury condo for a family of mice. But you buy it anyway. You pay the vintage tax, that extra premium people charge just because a bike is old, regardless of its condition. You bring it home, and the honeymoon phase ends immediately. You start making a list. New tires, $300. New chain and sprockets, $150. Battery, $100. Fluids, filters, plugs, another $100. You're already $650 in the hole, and we haven't even touched the broken stuff yet. This is the entry fee. And trust me, the previous owner, let's call him the butcher, has left you some surprises. Stripped threads, wood screws holding fairings together, and electrical tape. So much electrical tape. Now comes the teardown. This is where your budget goes to die. There is a psychological condition known to every mechanic called scope creep, or the while I'm at it syndrome. It starts simple. You want to rebuild the forks because the seals are leaking. You take the forks off. Then you look at the triple tree and think, well, while I'm at it, I should replace the steering stem bearings. Then you look at the frame. It's got a little surface rust. Well, while I'm at it, I should strip the frame and powder coat it. Suddenly, you aren't fixing a leak, you are doing a frame-off restoration. And as you dig deeper, you find the horrors. You find the shadow monsters. Corrosion inside the gas tank. If it's pinholed, that's trash. A vintage tank in good condition can cost $500 to $800 on eBay. Or you spend weeks using harsh chemicals to seal it, praying it doesn't leak on your hot engine. You pull the engine covers. You find sludge. You find metal shavings. Now you need a gasket kit, $200. You need seals, $100. And bolts. Oh God, the bolts. Japanese bikes from the 70s used JIS screws, Japanese industrial standard. But the previous owner used a Phillips screwdriver. Every single head is stripped. You will spend hours drilling, heating, and cursing. Time is money. If you value your time at even minimum wage, that rusted exhaust bolt just cost you $50 in labor to remove.
Let's talk about parts. If you're building a Harley Sportster, fine, you can buy parts at a gas station. But if you're restoring something even slightly obscure, an old Italian Ducati, a two-stroke Kawasaki, or a random Suzuki, you are entering the world of unobtainium. These are parts that literally do not exist anymore. You need a specific airbox boot? Discontinued in 1989. You need a side cover emblem? Gone. You have two choices. One, buy cheap Chinese knockoff parts from eBay. They won't fit, the rubber will crack in 6 months, the chrome will flake off if you look at it wrong. Two, hunt for NOS, new old stock. This is the holy grail. Original parts, still in the box from 40 years ago. But you aren't the only one hunting. You are competing with collectors worldwide. I've seen grown men bid $400 for a plastic side cover. $400 for a piece of plastic. And don't forget shipping. You finally find that rare carburetor slide? Great, it's in Germany. Shipping is $60. Customs is another $40. It takes 6 weeks to arrive. Your project stalls. You lose momentum. The bike sits in pieces in the corner, covered in a sheet. This is the valley of death for projects. This is why Craigslist is full of 90% finished projects. They hit the unobtainium wall.
There is a myth that you can do everything yourself to save money. That is false. Unless you have a machine shop, a paint booth, and an upholsterer in your basement, you are going to pay the pros. You want that engine to run like new? You need to hone the cylinders, maybe cut the valve seats. That's a machine shop bill, $300 to $500. You want those carbs to look brand new? You can scrub them with a toothbrush for days, or you can pay for vapor blasting. It looks incredible, better than factory, but that's $150. And then there is paint jail. Ask any bike builder about paint jail. You give your tank and fenders to a painter, he says 2 weeks. 2 weeks in painter time is 6 months in human time. Professional paint costs money. Good materials alone are expensive. If you want a showroom quality finish, put aside $1,000 minimum. If you try to rattle can it in your driveway, it will look okay from 10 feet away, but the moment you spill a drop of gas on it at the pump, that paint will dissolve, and you will cry. So, let's look at the final math. You bought the bike for $1,500. Parts, $2,500. Machine work and paint, $1,500. Special tools you had to buy, $500. Total hard cash invested, $6,000. Labor hours, $300. And what is the bike worth when you finish? Maybe $4,500 on a good day? Mathematically, restoring a vintage motorcycle is absolute stupidity. It is financial suicide. You are buying high and selling low. You are sweating and bleeding for a machine that is objectively worse than a modern Honda reliability-wise. But that's not why we do it. We don't do it for the ROI, return on investment. We do it for that one specific moment. The moment when the last bolt is torqued, you open the petcock, you smell the gas, you kick the starter, and it fires. That sound, that choppy, imperfect, mechanical idle, it's a sound that doesn't exist anymore in modern machines. You ride it out of the garage, it vibrates, it smells like oil and hot metal, it feels alive. You brought something back from the dead. You saved a piece of history from the crusher. Is it a bottomless money pit? Yes. Will it break your heart? Absolutely. But when you are tucking into a corner on a machine you built with your own hands, there is no price tag on that feeling. If you're watching this and thinking about buying that rusty project bike, do it. Just don't say I didn't warn you about the cost. Thanks for watching. Now go fix something.